Hello, everyone. Welcome to the VPC webinar for advanced WordPress using. I'm going to wait just a few minutes here to make sure everybody is on and can see me. And I'm going to go ahead and log into the chat as well. Great. So I believe everything on our end, the webinar is now live. Just like I said, I'm going to give it a couple of minutes to make sure everybody can see and hear everything and that everything's all set up. I'm going to sign into the chat, and if you see a little red box to the bottom right of your screen that says talk to us, if you put your name and email in there, you'll sign into the chat as well. So my name is Jessica Gorsuch. Okay. Great. I am signed on to the chat and presenting live, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. First of all, a couple of quick notes. The Google Hangouts and what you're seeing and what I'm presenting, there's about a 30-second delay, 30 to 45-second delay. So if you type a comment into the Talk to Us box, I will see that, but it will take about 30 seconds for that to pop up on my end. And so just allow for a little extra time if you do have questions. Please feel free at any time to ask questions through that talk box. And what we're going to do today is present a live webinar all about advanced WordPress. So about a week ago, if you joined us, we did a webinar about in an intro to WordPress. So it was kind of what is it, why is it so great, what can you use it for, what can it really do? And so that's assuming that you liked everything you saw and you're ready to start your own WordPress site. We're going to go through today a couple of for a quick, easy setup. So installing and getting started with your first WordPress site. So kind of a detailed step-by-step on that. And then we're going to go into some advanced techniques and tips of updating, using your theme and updating your site and keeping the content fresh. So I'm going to first type in a hello into the chat box to make sure everybody can see that. And I'm also going to type in here, if you are having any trouble with the video, please refresh your screen. So that is for me. It says Jessica Gorsuch, hello. If you're having any trouble, please refresh your screen. So I'm just going to give that a minute to see. If anybody has any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and get started. First of all, to introduce myself, my name is Jessica Gorsuch. My company is Beaufort Creek Consulting, and we are a marketing and business development consulting firm located here in Richmond, Virginia. I do a good bit of web and online media work, and so helping clients figure out the best kind of website and what they need on their website and implementing that, getting it built, pushing it out there, helping with SEO, and a number of other things. One of my most favorite tools in the world is WordPress, and so I was very excited when I was invited to come and talk to you about that. And it's something I've been using for many years. I've built probably almost 100 websites using WordPress, and I've kind of been riding along with it as it's been updated and changed over the years. It is an excellent resource, and if you kind of want to know why it's so great, I encourage you, if you were not with us last week, to go ahead and check out the members only page with the webinars and watch that replay. And you can visit my site, or I can send you the copy of the PowerPoint we showed with some links in it as well. So this is all assuming that you agree and WordPress is terrific, so you definitely want to get started. So where do you start? So one of the best things about WordPress, as I said in the previous week, is that it is very popular. About almost a quarter of websites all websites on the web are WordPress. So that means there's a huge community out there. There's a lot of support. There's a lot of information. Google absolutely is your friend. The WordPress organization, so it's wordpress.org, has an extensive codex of information and support. I encourage you to use that. Use Google. Kind of everything Google kind of points you back to there as well. They have what's called the famous 5-minute installation. So then there's 2 ways to do this. You can install WordPress yourself, or you can install it through your dashboard with your hosting company. And we're going to talk about both. But first I'm going to do a screen share so you can start seeing my screen. Select. The right screen here. There we go. Install WordPress. Okay, so one thing I'll say, we had a little problem last week with the screen looking a little blurry because it's a screenshot of my screen to your screen. If you do have that problem, please let me know in the comments. There's a couple of things I can do, but if you also go full screen on your video, it may help that as well. That's something we're still trying to kind of quite figure out exactly the best way to do this. But this page actually in particular is kind of small font, so we'll kind of crank this up a little bit. So this is from wordpress.org. It's from their codex, installing WordPress. So it is very well known for its easy installation. Here's so a lot of information here. And the things you need to know before installing WordPress are right here, very clear. Access to your web server, text editor, FTP client. And you typically, if you're working on any kind of any webmaster level, you're going to have all this information already. So this is kind of all assuming that you're ready to go. You have your domain name, and it's a www.myblog.com. And what we want to do is set up a website. So the minimum requirements for WordPress, click on that real quick, is very minimal. You need your server, which is your hosting server, needs to have PHP and support MySQL databases. So other than that, it's very minimal. Almost every major hosting service out there very much has support for WordPress, and so they're kind of off-the-shelf economy, bottom-of-the-level packages are typically a PHP server with MySQL database support. So it's very possible that everything you need is already done in there. It's just double check, and if you're concerned at all, you can always call their help desk and ask them to give you that information. Just ask them, hey, is it WordPress compatible? So, sorry, I'm going to move this out of the way so I can still see our chat. Okay, so now that we're here, we know we can install WordPress. There's the famous 5-minute install. So you can do this 2 ways. The first thing I'm going to show you is how to do this yourself. So following these steps, you download and unzip the WordPress package. So if I actually scroll back up to the top of the screen, there's a download WordPress. I've already done that, but if you click that link, it downloads a zip file. So we download that. Create a database for WordPress on your web server. And that you would go into your hosting account and set up a MySQL database, give it a name and a username and password. And then this step 3 is optional, which I'll skip that. It's a little more complicated. And then you upload your files from your computer, the files that you just unzipped, to your server in the folder that you created. So very simple, kind of 1, 2, 3, 3 being on 1, 2, 3, 4, and everything here on this page is detailed for you very specifically. I wanted to show you that quickly first because there is a way to do this manually. So if you have kind of self-hosting, if you have your own web server in your office, this is the system you need to do. But 9 times out of 10, you're going to be using a hosting service. GoDaddy, HostGator, Network Solutions, DreamHost, Rackspace, any of the one-on-one, all kinds of hosting companies. All the ones I named absolutely support WordPress and have WordPress as part of their dashboard management. So I'm going to spend a little more time. I'm going to walk through this process because, 9 out of 10 people, this is exactly how you would do it. Every dashboard is a little different between HostGator and GoDaddy and Network Solutions. These screens don't always look exactly the same, but the process is very similar. So first of all, we go to my hosting company is GoDaddy. So I go in here and I want to log in. So I'm already logged in. Visit my account. So once you log in, you want to manage your web hosting. So I'm going to go here. Now we are loading up our control panel. Like I said, other control panels may look different, but it's a control panel for your hosting. And if you are not sure how to get to this, you can always, again, call customer service, and they can usually walk you right to that. This is a very basic thing. So we want to manage our hosting. Oh. Not sure don't know what that error was. My login may have timed out. I may have to log in again. Sorry about that. Also, again, while we're waiting on this page to load, if you have any questions at any time, please feel free to type them into the chat box, which should be the Talk to Us box in the lower right corner of your screen. So, okay, so here's my control panel. And this, again, is a GoDaddy control panel. Down here in GoDaddy, under Web Applications, there's WordPress. I know in DreamHost it says Install Web Applications, or in HostGator, I believe it says Install WordPress. Click here. Again, usually very obvious, very easy to find. So I click on that, and we're actually going to kind of walk through doing all of this. So, and here they tell you a little bit about it. GoDaddy likes to make sure you understand what you're getting. WordPress 4.2.2, it's the most recent version. Yes, I'd like to install this application. So now here it's going to ask you what domain you want to set this up on. If you have different domains, you can certainly do that. You can set it up on a subdomain. So like, for instance, videos.beavercreek.com, or on your main domain. It's highly recommended that you at least install WordPress at this stage in a subfolder of some sort. So I'm going to call this one Testing Webinar. So that's the subfolder I'm going to install it in, and that will basically install WordPress and have it be on a section of my server that's not live. So beavercreek.com right now is currently live, and everybody can see what's going on there. And so I want kind of a private but totally live online, so I can test it all and run it all. So set up testing webinar, and you go with your default settings. Version 2, the most recent version is recommended. English is my language. You accept the licensing agreement. I will say that this is a open source software licensing agreement. So if you're familiar with that, it is a very, it's a great, again, it's a great product. A lot of people work together to code and produce this. Here, this is something new in the past year or so. Many hosts are offering automatic updating. So update to new minor versions, security releases. I recommend that you go ahead and have updates pushed automatically, at least for your core files. Plugins are questionable. We'll talk a little bit about that later, but generally this would be the automatic updates. You want to have those running so they're getting pushed to you. And I say that because there's often a lot of security fixes and patches they do. They'll kind of push it really quietly, but it can really prevent you from getting malware or your site being hacked if you're up to date. And so it's really all it takes. And then now you can have it done automatically, and you just get an email that pops up that says, hey, your WordPress was updated. So here's where we'll set our username and password. This one generates a very strong, alphanumeric username and password, but that's a little confusing for me. So I'm going to set my username to U for Creek. Spell it right. And I'm going to set my password to, and let's tell me if it's a good password or not. This, you put the administrator's email. This is defaulting to my GoDaddy account, but I want to go ahead and make this my work email. And what's my website title? I'm going to say Advanced WordPress Webinar. And my tagline is a VPC members only event. Now again, this could be the title of your business. Your tagline could be the title of your blog, and subheading, your name. This authentication basically is just a way of GoDaddy making sure you are a human and you are doing this. I'm going to disable that for now. Limit login attempts. That again will help your site stay secure. It's going to double check again that you are a person setting this up. And enable multi-site. That's kind of a further advanced setting where you can shoot off a number of websites out of one, control them all under one WordPress installation. So it's generally not what you typically would want to do. And so go ahead and set with keep the default settings, and we say install. Now that will take a little while. And as you see here, you get to the installation. So you can kind of watch this go through, goes through its whole thing. And now it tells me WordPress is up and installed. If I want to go ahead, I can start editing it. So click on my link here, WP admin. So here is what my front page of my website currently looks like. Totally unformatted. And now I'm going to go ahead and pull up my backend so I can log into my dashboard. And very conveniently, they also have the support link. So it's right here. You can go on and do that. Setting it up with GoDaddy is this simple. You're done. Your website is now back into setup. So you can log out of GoDaddy. We're done with that. Thanks, GoDaddy. Appreciate it. Go ahead and log out of that. All right. So here we're at our dashboard. And so we've logged in. GoDaddy itself has a quick setup guide, but I'm going to go ahead and no thanks that. But if you are very new to this and you have GoDaddy, I recommend going through it. It's a great tutorial. It gives you a little tour of the dashboard and tells you everything kind of you need to get started. WordPress is always installed with one default post, one default page, one default comment, so you can see how things look, and a default theme. So this is what's called 2015, their default theme. So, not as grand as we would like it to be. So the first thing you want to do is pick out your appearance. So under appearance and themes, you can start searching themes, look under the with the WordPress databases here, all the themes that are available there. Or again, you can also use premium themes which are sites like Elegant Themes, Graphic, Theme Jungle, Woo Themes. There's several more if you just Google premium WordPress themes that you could spend all day looking at those. But for the sake of demonstration, what we're going to do is go ahead and search on a theme. And let's say we know for sure we want search and install themes. We want to add new. So I don't like anything to see here. So it comes up with your most commonly used, most popular kind of number of options here. You can also do a filter. So I know I definitely want my site to feature the colors orange and gray. So now those are I like those colors. I want, and it's responsive layout. I definitely want one that's going to have a responsive layout. So that means mobile friendly and desktop friendly. So depending on how big or large the screen gets is how people see that. It automatically resizes your website for mobile friendly viewing. And then there's some other features. And as you kind of play around this more, some of these will make a little bit more sense, but a couple of really good ones. So custom colors. Yeah, I like to be able to customize my colors. I like to have a custom menu. You know, and again, there are several themes. This is not going to limit us too much by any stretch. Let's see, a full width template, I don't know, post format. That's the main things. I just really want to be able to control my colors and my menu. Let's go ahead and search these. Apply filter. All right, so it is now pulling up a number of themes that meet my search criteria. So we can kind of scroll through. One of the neat things here is that you can do a preview. So you get a live preview of what it will look like with whatever content you have, which right now is your basic install, very little content. So okay, kind of like that one. Can scroll through the previews here in this top left here. That's kind of neat. Okay, Forever Wood. And again, this is something you can take as little or as much time as it's kind of like picking out paint colors. As much time as you need or as little time as you have. Really just depends on what you're looking for. So how about this one? This one looks good. I like this one. No Nonsense. I like the name of that. And you can see what a page looks like. Here's what they're commenting. Okay, parent page. Yep, that looks good. Put that for the home. Okay, yeah, that looks good. So now we click install. And that takes a little minute there. It says installing, downloading, successfully installed it. Do you want a live preview or do you want to activate it? I want to activate it. So now here on my themes page, it says active the No Nonsense theme. And this little bar here is kind of all your alerts. New site is active, so let's visit the site. One tip is to always kind of use opening separate tabs. So that's what it first looked like when we first installed. Now our site looks like this. All right, it's already shaping up. Kind of liking that. Okay, so now we go here, and there's a customize button with this theme. So we're going to, and it also corresponds to this item, customize on your menu. So that's my theme. I want to customize it. Let's see, general options. Here's my site title. Select a background color. Let's see, you can set your colors here. select colors this way. There we go. Like that. Background image, no image selected. So this would be that. So I want to select an image. I don't have anything in my media library yet because I've just installed, but go ahead and pull an image file. Find them real quick. Here, we'll use the cover from last week's PDF. So, as you can see, it's uploading, crunching the picture for you. Now, because we're using this as a headliner image, there are really kind of no other options here, but we go ahead and choose this image. So now let's put that on the background of all of this. All right, so yeah, I don't like that so much. Let's go ahead and remove. All right, so that's gone now. Here you can set all of these to the highlight color, which is things that are linked, things that are highlighted. It's the blue. Sidebar location. This is your sidebar. Well, let's put that on the right. Okay, like that. Footer options. This information down here looks good. Error options. Page not found. Here's my background image there. Leave that. Header options. So the text color. Welcome to our site. We'll leave that as our title. So it's got my company name up here and welcome to our site there. Quick website setup. That there's our text. And let's see what other kind of image we have. All right. So we've got randomized images. So we're going to save and publish this. Okay. This is what our website looked like a minute ago. When we first installed the theme. So now when we refresh this page, here's what we get. So I seem to have lost my image, add image. Let's upload a file. It will upload. Let's take the VPC logo here. Did I get the right one? We'll make this our. There we go. Save and publish. So now, as you can see, this part is really now up to you, is to add content, add pictures, find just the right picture to put here on this background. Set it back to that, save that guy. And to start populating your site with information. And so this is kind of the end of our basic how to install and get started. You are now started. So we close this out and we're back to our dashboard, and we talked a little bit briefly, and we're going to move over to another site to talk more in detail but you're ready to add more posts, you're ready to add pages, add pictures, kind of whatever you see there. So just to come over here to show you. So basically it is as simple as that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to kind of abandon this because it doesn't really have any content in it and just take too much time to add a lot of stuff. Let's say you've been managing your website for a while. It was built in WordPress and you're now the new webmaster. So you just volunteered for that position here at the VPC. And so what you have is a WordPress site and you want to keep it updated and manage it. So we are going to use for this part of it the VPC current website. So one of the first things I want to do is kind of scroll through. I'm sure you're all very familiar. And so this is the home page, and we have a number of other interior pages, as you can see. And this is the live site. One thing I'd like to pull into this window now is to talk a little bit about the kind of structure of the site. So we have our logo, we have our main navigation, our slider images, our featured pages here, call to action bar, a tabbed area for quick access for member information. And this little area is like a little featured news item, or what's called in this theme a testimonial. All of this layout is driven by the theme and the theme that we selected and used for this site as we're building it. So let's check over to the dashboard. So here we are at the VPC's dashboard. As you can see at a glance, we have 30 posts and 30 pages. A lot, but that's pretty neat. We're running 4.2.2, which is the most current version of WordPress on the Foxy Child theme. And so we would start here. And very often, the first thing you'll do as webmaster is be in charge of adding information to the blog. On the VPC website, the blog is here. I just got a question from Gail asking if anybody else is having problems with the chat window. It says it's telling her she's not logged in, but she is logged in. If you are not having a problem, if your chat is working, if you could type into it, just say hello, that would be great. My chat is definitely working. At least it was. Let me try that again. Testing chat window. So if you see that message, if you could just reply and let us know, and we will try and kind of troubleshoot that. Hopefully you can still hear and see us, though, however. Okay, so getting back to our site. So you're the new VPC webmaster, and first thing you're given is a new blog article to talk about, to add to the website. So blogs appear here on this page. They also, if you subscribe, users subscribe, they get emailed to them once a week or however often you set up the subscription. So we want to add a new post. So we click over here to our post, and here we can see all of our previous posts. And kind of you can edit these at a glance if you need to just change a picture or change a title. And then up here we want to add new. We start here with title, and we're going to go ahead and post one that says members only webinars have begun. Weird. All right, let's see, I've got some more text there. You want to type the rest of your article. I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste in some just kind of garbled text just so you can kind of get the picture of how it all works together. Go ahead and pull some of this. So there's the rest of my article. All right, so I've copied and pasted the article, and now I want to add a photograph. So up here at the top, it says Add Media. This is to add photographs or to embed a video or embed a sound clip or anything like that. So you can upload files or you can pull from your media library. So anything that's previously been uploaded to this site, it's gonna be here in your media library. You can see there's tons of photos that we've been using, or we can upload a new file. Uploading works very intuitive. Select the files; it'll pop up a window, or most browsers and most systems can accept drag and drop. So literally, if you just drag from your desktop or your file sorter onto this folder, it will upload. So I'm going to select something I've already uploaded. So this is the picture. So let's say I've just uploaded this. This is the one I set up, webinars. Here is where we would type in a title or a caption or alternate text or description of this picture. This section is really helpful and improves your SEO. So especially if you're doing a blog or something where you're trying to get articles, get a lot of exposure, I encourage you to definitely fill this information out regularly. But if it's kind of just something attached to a news article, or you're not trying to push your SEO further, you don't have to. So I'm going to just give this a title. The title is what's going to be in the title tag for searching. So webinar graphic can be the title. The caption, join us weekly. That again will be the caption or the cut line below the photo. Alt text is what shows up when people have images turned off, or for some reason the image breaks or the link breaks. It's so, or on visually impaired systems, it tells you what description of what it is. And so we'll just call this webinar graphic again. All right, so then we have, I hope you can see this, display settings. So we've selected our picture, little checkbox. What do I want to link it to? A page, another URL, or nothing? Do I want, when you click that picture, nothing to happen, or do I want it to go to another page or some other attachment? I don't want anything to happen right now. So I'm going to say link to none. And then size. So here it says it can automatically give me a tiny thumbnail, which is exactly what you see here, or I can scale it down to medium or full size. Depending on the size of your photo, you may have small, medium, large, extra large, full size. It kind of gives you a few general options, but usually medium is kind of a good fit. So I want that justified to the right. So we're going to go ahead and insert this into post. So I'm going to switch over to the visual mode. One thing I should point out over here, you have two modes of editing. Text, which is straight code, which is why you see a lot of the code jargon here, which I apologize, I forget that I'm usually in that mode, or visual. Visual is the more looks and feel like Word or email. And so sorry about that, we'll leave this in the visual mode. So here's our picture, here's our caption. It's going to justify to the right now. And let's say we want one more picture. I kind of want it down here. So you put your mouse, or you click your cursor wherever you want this photo to be. So let's say add new media. Well, this time I'm going to upload a file. going to select file and go. And we're going to find there we go. We'll just take this one, for instance. So this little storage box. It's already got a title, which is fairly descriptive. I'm going to give it a caption. Storage box. Hey, check it out. This one I want to align to the left. So I'm going to change that. I could pick center, none. And this time I would like to link this to a custom URL. So let's say this was the picture of somebody that, let's say this is a picture that we want to be able to link straight out to the foundation's website, or we're doing a joint event. So I would say this webinar is being put on by me. So we go beautifulcreek.com, copy that link. So highlight it, copy, go back over here in this little area, paste. And there, again, one thing to note, you do have to have your full link. So the HTTP and all that has got to be there. I want to set my picture size to thumbnail. Let's make that tiny. I'll go visit Beaufort Creek for the caption. So I'm going to make a little tiny thumbnail. I'm going to align it to the left. So insert this into post. Okay, so now I've inserted two pictures. They both have captions. If they don't, this box will just not be there. Now, because this is a news post, we need to decide what categories it belongs in. So certainly blog. So any article you want to show up in the blog, you need to mark with the blog category. And let's see, member news. Yep, that's a good one. And then, okay, that's it. Member news and blog. It's not really about contests and awards, not ready for archives. But what if I wanted to add a new category? Let's say I wanted this to be resources. So let's add a category for resources. Well, online resources. Online resources. Let's make that a parent category, so it's its own category. Add new. And it'll automatically select that new category for you. The main thing with VPC is that you always have to mark it at least with blog. And then, again, any other thing you want is just extra. But at the minimum, it should be marked as a blog article, if that isn't what it is. Okay, so we can scroll down here. The VPC website also comes with some enhanced SEO. So this shows you in this section how to, and this is, sorry, I should back up. This is run by a plugin. So we have a WordPress by Yoast, SEO by Yoast plugin, which we'll look at some of the plugins a little bit later. But that is already been installed. So if you're in here, so you want to go ahead and what are some good keywords, webinar, learning, and VPC is a good one. It'll tell you what you can do to improve your titles. It gives it its own SEO title, which is what shows up when this comes up in a Google search, is up here. And then I can give it a meta description. News about our new webinar series. And as you can see, that's popping up there. And because webinar is in our focus keyword, it's going to bold that. This is what Google users are going to see when they search your site and see when they search in this, this link comes up for this particular article. The rest of this kind of stuff is all just basic. The only other thing you really need to work about here is the featured image. So this is a special function in this theme that the featured image is what you see, this background image. It's set by that. So you have images in your article, but you also have a featured image, which is, sorry, it says a featured image. So for this one, we're going to go ahead and set the featured image. Again, the same thing. You can upload a file, use something from the media library. But let's see, let's go ahead and use that guy as our featured image. And you just say set featured image. Now, that is our new post. Everything is written. It's all looking good. So we're going to go ahead and publish this. One thing to note about this publishing box here is you can keep it in a draft status if you have other people that you want to review it before you publicize it. You can make it public or private. And so just like the members only pages, the ones that require a password, we've made those private, password protected, and typed in a password here. This is where all this is set. But this is a blog article, so that's okay. We want it to be public. And you can publish it immediately, or we can backdate it, or we can future date it. So if I want this to publish tomorrow morning, I can set it for July 10th, 2015 at 7 a.m. So you just kind of schedule, you can schedule things out this way. We're going to publish it immediately. So we're going to say, okay, so all that is ready. Publish. It says your post has been published. Let's go over here to blogs again. Refresh on that. And there we are. Members only webinars have begun. It's got our featured image, gives me the date, intro to the article, and if I click read more, it gives me the whole article. And you can see this how it formats our cut lines for us and posts everything all ready to go. Also adds it to the recent posts down here. So all of these things are happening on, like the formatting, the turning commenting on, everything's happening automatically. And so now this is available, and this will also come up under this section. We've got the general blog, which is everything, all blog articles, or you can narrow it down by member news only. So because I tagged this one with the member news tag, category, this is going to come up under that category. Yes, we got a comment about, can we talk about using tags? So yes, let's go back to our post editing. Now, tags are keywords, short, separated by commas, keywords that you want associated with this article. They are hard-coded into the back end of the article for SEO, for search engine optimization, and it's also it's a good strategy to be able to target and focus and understand. So and start kind of a tag search trend. So you would start typing them in here. So let's say tag this with VPC, members only, education, webinars, online resources. And we're going to go ahead and add all of these. And the next article we'll do will have more options to choose from. And the more tags you use, you can go ahead and check them off and use one and say, well, I don't want to tag this with that, so I can take that off. Or I can add a new one that says e-learning. Let's add that tag. So again, a really quick way of enhancing your keyword density, I guess, for your posts and your articles and pages. But I would caution that these aren't as important in the newer search algorithms as they once were. So just kind of loading it up with a lot of tags that say e-learning, education, online resources will not force you to come up first in Google all of a sudden, because the new algorithms really are about relevancy and timing and natural language keywords. How many keywords show up in the natural language of your text? So it's really still about content, content, content. But it is a great, it can kind of help push you over the edge and help really bump it up a little bit. Again, these tags, if you don't have a separate plugin running to do enhanced search engine optimization like we have here, these are the same kind of things you would set with these tags as well. So doing tags at the very least, if you have an SEO plugin, that's already doing that for you. So it's kind of double duty, not as much, not necessarily double return, but it certainly doesn't hurt. So that is good. We'll talk about tags. We go to the update section here. This is just like save, update, save, and now our new changes are made. So everything also works the same way. If you want to come back tomorrow, the next day, and you want to make some changes, you can, again, hover over, edit the existing, and let's see, we wanted to make some things bold. So let's bold that, and make that italics. And we're going to make this whole section here a different color. All right, update that. You're very welcome, Kimberly. Okay, so I've made a couple little textual changes. Hey, maybe even I go, you know what? Let's not put this picture in there. I don't like that picture. So let's remove that picture. And somebody even suggested putting a picture of me in there so you can see who's talking. Because I forget you're only seeing my screen share right now. So let's do that. So let's upload. We'll select a file. We'll go here. And as soon as I find the right folder, actually, probably find it quicker over here. All right. So I found the picture, and I'm going to hopefully demonstrate drag and drop. So hopefully you can see that screen changing quickly there. And now it's uploading our picture. Give that just a second. And there I am. So this focuses me. So image title, we're going to go ahead. Again, this is part of tagging as well. The title is technically, an image title is technically a tag. So I'm going to tag it with my last name, Borsitz. Jessica Borsitz, TS of Ford Curry Consulting. Tag. There we go. We're going to still do that left. And I want to link it with my website again. So go back to thebeavercreek.com, highlight that, copy, paste, and let's see, large or small. We'll stick with thumbnail because that gives you most of it. So we're going to insert that into post. All right, so our new picture, we've made some things yellow, and now I'm going to update that. So it says post has been updated, view post. So now we can see that everything we bolded is bold, everything we made red is red, and now our new picture is here. And when you click that new picture, it takes you to BufordCreek.com. So it is as simple as that. Again, if you have questions, please feel free to use the chat box. All right, and now quickly we're going to go back over here. So a lot of this editing, putting the text in, adding photographs, all that stuff works exactly the same for posts and pages. The difference between posts and pages are kind of the easy way to figure it out is pages are things that don't change very much. So your static information or your basic information. So when you look at the VPC homepage and you look across at our navigation here, these are all pages. So join VPC, about VPC, the board, the bylaws, all these things here. Events works a little differently here. Contests and awards, these are all pages. The blog items are all posts because those are changing things. Those are constantly updated news items. So you kind of want a rolling list of those. And so that's kind of the difference. So the things that don't change a lot, I could join VPC page. So the text and the images on here probably only change, once or twice a year as you kind of go in and check things out. So that's a page. So that is static content that's not changing. And so hierarchically, you can mix and match them in a menu like we have here. These are posts. The rest of these are pages. But so when you're editing, it's really just a matter of you understanding on your own website what content is changing and, kind of what's not. Oh, Carol had a good suggestion. I will do that. I'm going to type in the chat box. If you are having any other problems, I'm going to give my email address. I'm going to type in the chat box as well. If you want any questions or if you're having trouble with anything, please feel free to email me. My email is jessica@bufordcreek.com. So it's JESSICA at Buford, BUFORD, Creek, CREEK.com. And that is also in the chat window for anybody that's looking at that. Okay, so now we're going to talk about pages. So we understand that that is static information. The one difference here, we're going to, if we look back at this home page, because of our theme and how this theme functions, these three areas here are controlled by pages as well. So these areas, which would normally you would think of them, at VPC we're using them sort of like news items, but these are actually controlled by pages. There's a little asterisk, and that's because of the functions of this theme. And so let's say we want to update some information on the Join VPC page or anything like that. So we go to Pages and we find the page we're looking for. The Contest and Awards page or Events page. So we're going to go find the Join VPC. I think it's, there we go. It was not alphabetical, which I thought it was, which will cause my problem. All right, join VPC. We want to edit this page. Again, everything here works very similar. Bold, italic, change the colors, highlighting, link things. So yeah, you would do, this one's a little different because this is the section which links out to your Wild Apricot, which I understand that'll be kind of talked about in another section, Wild Apricot Membership Management. But this is all of the text and the links. And so we can go in here, make our changes, hit update, and all of that happens live. I just wanted you to see that this is very much the same. But what if you're the webmaster of VPC and you want to add something here? So you want new stuff to come up in one of these sections. So I'm going to add a new page because, again, asterisk, that one is put there by pages. And for the sake of demonstration, we're going to make it about the webinars too. Members only webinars. Scheduled for July and August. And again, we're gonna, right now, sake of quickness, throw in some general text. Lorem ipsum. And let's go ahead and put a picture in here. So we're going to add media. We are going to pull from one we already have. Make it medium. Link it to nothing. Just want it to be a picture. And I want it aligned to the right. Okay, and you'll notice the settings for these pictures stay the same. I could change that for this insertion, but I don't have to, and it will automatically default to staying the same. So here's my text and everything. One thing to note again, this information pulls to the point that says read more. So what you have to do is, as the editor, you're deciding where that kind of cutoff is. So if I want it to be here, let's say I just want the first tag. If you look across this section here, your typical formatting information, if you hover over them, it'll tell you what to do. So this one is insert read more tag. So let's go ahead and insert that and pull it up here. Okay. So I'm going to publish this page. All right, now this is a brand new page. It is nowhere to be found on the website. So if I were a guest coming to your website, I couldn't find this page because it's not linked anywhere. It's not part of the menu, and it's not here. So what we're going to do is we're going to make it part of the menu, and we're going to put it there. So we're going to make it come up as a sub to members only, and we're also going to have it show up right here in the center. So we have finished our page. We know it's called members only. Let's say we've done all this SEO good stuff and updated that. So now and again, this is because of this themes function in this particular theme. We're going to go to Foxy theme options. And this is to insert that into the homepage area. So Foxy theme options, we have general, featured, homepage. And I should note, if you are the VPC webmaster, you also have a little manual that explains some of this in writing, which helps tremendously as well. You don't have to remember all of this. So we have content area 1, content area 2, content area 3. And these are represented by 1, 2, and 3. So here's where you pull down a list of things. So I want to change the center one. So it's number 2. It always puts all of your pages here. It's not really in alphabetical order, but I don't know exactly how they do this. So really just have to scroll through here and find the page you just made. Members only webinars scheduled for July and August. There we go. And then I scroll down here to the bottom and click Save. So now if we go back to our home page, we refresh this. Now you will see that that's been replaced. And again, it's just to the point where I inserted that read more task. So the second paragraph of this you can only get to if you click read more. If you have a very long article, you can do it at any point. If your article isn't that long, you don't have to use a read more tab. So there's our page, but now I want it to come up under members only. So then I would go back to, so that's how we put it on the home page. Now this is not specific to this theme, general WordPress usage, custom menus. So in this theme, we've set our menu. We have different menu options. So main top is your top menu. So that's the menu we want to select. So you select which menu is which. And if you look under Manage Locations, it tells you where your primary and footer menus are and how you can assign them. But for this one, we've got main top, main side, which is our primary menu. And we want to add that page. Now, the good thing about this is it always pulls up your most recent stuff. There's a tab for most recently created pages. Thank goodness. You don't have to scroll through too much. So the one I just created, it's right there on top. So I click that page and click Add to Menu. And it automatically adds everything to the very bottom of the menu. So one of the good things is you can then pull it up. So if this needed to go up here, you just drag and drop this where it needs to be. And you'll notice, it's kind of hard to see, there's all the way flush, this highlighted square, whether it's all the way flush or it's under, depends on where you put it. So really, I want this to be kicked in a little under members only. So that means this will be a subpage of members only. So then we want to save our menu. Now we go back to our home page or refresh our screen. And members only now has a sub item, which is our page. So now we've created a page, we've added it to our menu, we've added it to our special theme section. There's our special section on the front here, and been able to edit that menu. I do have a question here asking about how to order posts on pages under the page attributes. So let's see. When you have a number of posts on a page, so for instance, your blog page, they are by default arranged by date, publishing date. And so you'll see July 9th, July 6th, it goes backwards. If there is none of that information, you can also give them an order number, or you can give some themes require that you give them an order number. So let's go back here to our post editing. Under, and edit that one we just created. So let's say there were a number of posts on July 9th. So that one, I think you have to set it. To be honest, order number is just not something I've used in a long time, mainly because the custom menus override that order number setting. Let's see. Discussion, chapters. It's here. Oh, it's under page. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm under posts. I need to be in pages. Let's go back to pages. Here we go. So order number, which is under quick edit, it's here, or we can do a main edit as cancel that. Main edit. And the order number is here. So this would be used, again, if your theme requires that, or if it's you have several things that are you want to appear in a drop-down menu and you're not using custom menus, you would order them lowest number first. So 0, 1, 2, and it will show up as 0, 1, 2. And let's see. Sorry, got a quick question here about the members only post section. So let's go over here. And again, I apologize, the post ordering or the page ordering is just, it's something that's kind of been supplanted, I guess, a little bit by the custom menu. So it's just not something that I'm very familiar because I don't use it as much anymore. But there are sometimes, and that is the order where you go. So let's go to look up members only section. And I guess if you could maybe resend your question about the members only section. I'm not 100% sure what the question is. But we will go ahead and look at this. So this members only section of the website has a link to password protected pages. So these links here, so this general page is not password protected. So you can see it and you can understand what's going on. The jobs and postings and resumes, a members only resource. So that will be required to, people viewing it will have to insert a password. Because we are logged in as the administrator of the site, it's not asking me for the password, but if I logged out, it would. But it shows you here it's a protected page. And all that information is there. This page is also, I believe, run exactly how the others. Let's see. Pages. All right. I have a little clarification on the question, so we will go over that a little bit later. Again, please, if you have any questions, we've got about 15 more minutes. Please feel free to email me, Jessica@Buford Creek, or type it into the chat window. Be happy to answer any questions you have. And meanwhile, I'm going to go into a little bit about plugins and some of the useful plugins and helpful things you can do with plugins. As I mentioned, the SEO by Yoast is a plugin that we installed as part of the VPC launch. Sorry, I meant to click install plugins. So this is the list of all the plugins we have. Here it'll tell you if something's out of date. So actually we just ran updates a little while ago, and it looks like there have been some upgrades to these two. So we can update those now or later. And we've got a so kind of some of my favorites are WordPress SEO by Yoast, which is the SEO plugin, which really helps you add stuff easily, quickly, intuitively, and really improve your search engine rankings. Another one of my favorites is the online backup for WordPress. This is an automatic backup system. So it creates a backup of all of your files and your database and stores it on your hosting server. So you can, if you do get hacked, always know that you had a weekly backup or every 3 days backup or monthly backup. It's kind of it's a great way to just kind of set it and forget it. And we can look at that really quickly here. So when you install these plugins, very often they come with a little add-on here. So online backup. As you can see, it tells me when my latest backup was done, 23rd of June. I believe you've got it set up for, oh, we don't have them scheduled. I didn't do the schedule yet. So we're going to schedule backups. That's right, I undid this so I can show you. Let's do weekly backups. And I like doing them on Fridays, mainly because it's usually a quiet day and not many people are updating websites. And I also like to do them at 1 in the morning. (1 a.m.) And do we want to do the database or the file system or both. We want to do both. And it says perform an incremental backup, which means backup only things that changed. Perform a full backup and store it locally, which means locally means on your host server. So on your GoDaddy account or wherever. We'll perform a full backup and email it to a specified address. Sounds like a really great option, but once your website kind of starts stacking up a lot of photographs or a lot of posts and entries and pages, that backup file becomes too big to email, and you'll get an error message that it can't email it to you because it could be upwards of 40 megabytes. So generally, the full backup and store it locally on your server is the best option. What it'll do is create a server or a folder on your server that is just online backup, and they will all sit there. So we're going to apply that schedule. And once you have that done, you can run manual backups. Let's say you just did a whole lot of stuff. You just want to just do one right now, or you're about to do a whole lot of things. You don't want to mess anything up. If you're going to change the theme, if you update WordPress, the core files yourself, it's also recommended to do a backup before then. And so that's where you can do the start manual backup, and it will run for you and let you either download or email the backups. And this one shows you your most recent backups. So like, for instance, 200 megabytes is our online backup of the VPC site. And so I can download these, save them to my file. I can upload one and use that to repopulate, rework the database had there been like a malware attack or anything like that. So always a good keep your mind at ease kind of situation to have an online automatic backup set up. So those are done. Let's see. More about, let's talk a little bit quickly in the last few minutes here about users. So we have a number of different levels of users. So if you look here, you can see these mail subscribers. So these are all people who have come to the website and signed up at the bottom of the homepage there, or the footer of any page, to get signed up for the blog. So whenever blogs come, blog messages are posted once a week or so, all these subscribers. So these are subscribers to our site. We have one admin right now. If you're doing a lot of blogging type work, so you've got several different people writing articles, you can also set up users with different levels of access. So let's say we're going to call this user Jane Writer. And here's her email address. Looks a lot like mine. Sorry, that's username. J Writer. First name is Jane. Last name is Writer. If she has a website, you can enter that. It's all optional. We're going to give her a password that says, you can set it to very weak. They can change it themselves. Send this password to this user by email, and you can sign them up as a subscriber. So say somebody did say, hey, put me on your email list. You do that there. You can also sign them up depending on your theme, again, for different things. So mail subscriber, contributor, which means they can write articles. They can log in, write articles, and then you, the administrator, gets them and posts them. So the administrator reviews them. An author, they can write and post their own articles. An editor, they can write and edit other people's articles and their own. An administrator is, of course, full, complete rights to everything. So I want to set up Jane Writer as an editor. I want her to be able to go in, put her own articles in, and also review and edit articles from other people. So add the new user, and Miss Jane Writer, that Gmail address will get an email that says VPC has made you an editor of their site. And here's your login information and the link and welcome, and simple as that. I do have one last question here. It says, can we back up our site on our own computer hard drive? Yes, you absolutely can. I would recommend using this online site backup plugin because it makes it very easy, one click. What you do is run a backup. So we'd run this local backup, and then when that was done, it would show up here, and you click download, and it downloads a copy. It is a zip file, which is it's basically a zip database file. So it's not going to be something where you can open it up and use it. It's a backup file that would be used for sending back to your MySQL database to repopulate your database and fill in all the files and folders. So yes, that is the way that you would back up all your files and information with one click. You may also, separately, if you don't want to use a plugin, you can use FTP to make a copy of all the sites on your, all the files on your site. So you use FileZilla or any FTP program and just make a copy of everything there, and also go into your host database management, which is usually my PHP admin or something like that, and make a backup of that database. So there are two main parts to your site. There's your database, which is where your data is stored, so all the text and the characters and everything. And then there are your files, which is all of the theme files, the structure, the formatting, everything else. So those two pieces both need to be backed up regularly to kind of be able to restore your site with just a few clicks. So you can do that separately yourself. Again, FTP to download the files, and my PHP MyAdmin to back up your database, or you can use an online backup plugin. This is just one. There are dozens upon dozens. This one is free and it works great. And I've had to restore from this and it's been perfect. Or you can use one of these and download the zip file and keep that somewhere and date it, and you'll always know. As of this one particularly, June 23rd, 2015, we had an absolute complete backup of this website. And so if I wanted to download this now, delete it here, and download, click here to download and save it to my hard drive. So we've got another question. Let's see. So okay, yes, sorry. So Marty375 has a question about the homepage and how it's a little confusing, where I've got this center information looks the same as this. This is just, I'm going to strip these off when we're done. It's a little confusing because I use the same picture, which I apologize. This is pulling the category for member news. So it's pulling the most recent blog article for member news. So that's the one where we went into the post section and said, members only webinars have begun. And we set it because we clicked member news as one of its categories. That's why it's pulling here. Up here, members only webinars scheduled for July and August is the page. So because of this themes function, in order to get this to show up here in this section, I needed to create a page with the same information. And so that's why it's showing up twice. So yes, for right now, that is correct. It should be showing up twice. But what we'll do is go back and delete this page and restore what was there. And actually have a real blog article. But thank you for noticing. I appreciate it. All right, we've got a few minutes left. Just want to see if anybody has any questions, anything else we can talk about. Anything else you've been wondering? Again, please feel free to email me. Send me your feedback. We'd love it. Send Gail your feedback, please, so we know how, so she knows how VBC is doing with their delivering their first couple of webinars here. I'm going to go ahead and stop the screen sharing so I can talk to you guys again. Well, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up But again, if you have any questions, please feel free. I'll stay around on the chat window for a few minutes. And again, email anytime. Happy to answer your questions about WordPress or just clarify some things that we talked about. If you missed last week's presentation, the intro, again, it is available under the members only section of the VPC website. You can replay that at any time. The PowerPoint is available to you through my website. If you click on that, you can download a copy of that as well. It's got all the live links that we talked about last week. Again, my name is Jessica Borswitz with Beaver Creek Consulting. I very much appreciate being invited to help VPC kick off this webinar series, and this has been a wonderful experience. Thank you very much to Gail and all of the board members. Thank you to the members who are joining us today. And please feel free to share this link with other members and let them know if they want to come check out this webinar. It's going to be here for you as an online resource. So thank you so much. You guys have a wonderful afternoon, and hopefully I'll see you soon.